In this second October edition of Outlook TV, Atlantic Fashion Week.
Bianca Del Rio throwback interview.
Singing out in Toronto. And much, much more. Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Dan Doomshaw. Outlook TV is the queer news magazine show that brings you queer stories from coast to coast that matter the most.
We're going to start off today with the Atlantic Fashion Week.
Yes, the coveted first story goes to our correspondent in the East, Eureka Love.
Woohoo!
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eureka Love here in Halifax, Nova Scotia with Atlantic Fashion Week. We're going to be taking in some of the fashions and styles that are making their way down the catwalk.
Now that's going to leave some tan lines. And here is Cynthia Von Stilts looking statuesque and bedazzled.
Even Marilyn Monroe pulled herself out of the grave to be here with us at Fashion Week.
And here is Miss Anya herself with a little hot help. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Eureka Love here at Atlantic Fashion Week, and we just saw the wonderful line from the collaboration of Anya Nees and Caitlin from Kate and Ivy. How do you feel after that wonderful showing?
Oh my God, very excited. It was amazing, don't you think?
You should be excited, and congratulations to the both of you. That was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so proud. I'm very tired because I didn't sleep so much lately because it's 25 pieces collection. Took so much nerves, so much time, but I'm so proud, and I'm so proud to be collaborating with beautiful Caitlin Ivy and with her amazing unicorn pieces.
Right now I just have a bunch of trade shows on the go. I'll be at HalCon as well as a Gothic Christmas, and then who knows what's up for 2015.
You could find me on Facebook. Just look for Anya Nees and like me if you like me. Even if you don't like me, just like me because I love you. Yeah. And I'm getting ready for a big show with Unleashed Dancers team. It's gonna be very huge Las Vegas style, full of glamour, sparkle. So just search on Facebook for us, and there's going to be a lot of new stuff.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, that's it for me here at Atlantic Fashion Week in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I hope you had as good a time as I did checking out all of the collections. Remember, stick with me. I'll take you places.
You know, I really do love to eat, drink, and be merry. And if you can do all that while you're fundraising, all the sweeter.
Would you call those your passions?
Oh, I think I would.
Well, it's funny because there was a fundraiser that involved eating, drinking, and being merry, and it was called Passions. It was to raise money for the Dr. Peters AIDS Foundation, and Stephen Schelling was our reporter that caught it all.
For the past 11 years, the Dr. Peters AIDS Foundation has relied on Passions benefit every September in order to help them meet their fundraising goals. And this year is no exception. In fact, this year Passions is bigger and better than ever with over 300 guests and 20 restaurants, all giving out samples of some of their most famous dishes. And in fact, over the past 10 years, this event has raised over $1 million for the Dr. Peters AIDS Foundation and the Dr. Peters Center. Let's check it out.
It's incredible of how this event has grown, and every year it gets better and better. Well, it actually started 12 years ago when I did a cooking class at Barbara Jo's Books to Cooks. And the following year was the first year anniversary of the Dr. Peter Center. And Maxine Davis, the executive director, asked me, could I coordinate a cocktail party for the 100 of their top donors? And so I thought, sure, let's put a little charity together. And in 6 weeks, I had 9 chefs. We raised $7,000. And this is the 11th one. We hit $1 million mark for the 10th anniversary last year. And 11th year, new location, new venue, new chefs, so it's continuing.
And does it get a little harder every year since it's getting bigger every year to put this on?
For me, I'm very fortunate to have such amazing chefs, and it's hard to say no because I actually have a waiting list. I can only hold so much space, there's only so many chefs I can hold. So I guess I'm in a great position.
I felt it was important this evening to thank you on behalf of Peter, as I know in my heart he would want to do so himself if he were here.
Peter would love this event every year. Friends, good food, good wine. It doesn't get better than that. And his legacy, oh my. It will be 22 years in November since he died. And I'm sure that he can't believe the support that still is so generously given to his legacy. We feel very privileged to be his parents.
3.5. I've got $300. Who'll give me 3.5? I'll take 3.25. 3.25. Anybody back at 3.25?
And really, Dr. Peter became the face of AIDS in Canada with the series that he did for CBC. What do you think he was trying to accomplish with that?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because the last interview he did before he died, he said, if I've managed to reach out, touch people, and perhaps change their perception about gay people and people with AIDS, that will be my greatest contribution. And he did do that.
The guests have been fed. The wine is still flowing. This is Passions 2014. For Outlook TV, I'm Stephen Schelling.
Up next, we have a story about Bianca Del Rio. And I'm embarrassed to admit I don't know who that is.
Really?
Really.
Oh, Bianca Del Rio. She was the winner of season 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race. She was fierce. She played Judge Judy, and she was hilarious.
Well, Mark Kenneth Woods had the honor of interviewing her back at World Pride.
Oh, it's a throwback. I wonder if it's Thursday. TBT.
Hello, I am here with someone you might know, the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 6, Bianca Del Rio. Hello, welcome.
Hi, nice to have me.
We're here in Toronto. Can you tell us what you're doing here?
Well, I'm here for World Pride this weekend, and actually the top 4 came in from RuPaul's Drag Race. So it's Darian Lake and Miss Adora Delano and Courtney Act and I are all here this weekend, and we did a fabulous event Starry Night the other night, and we also today are doing the main event here at World Pride.
Amazing. Can you tell us what we can expect from a Bianca Del Rio show?
Well, you can expect the unexpected, because unlike the rest of them, I don't sing live and I don't do lip syncing. So I like to deal with the audience. And the more that I drink, the more entertaining that it gets. So you never really know what to expect. It's kind of like, as they say in Forrest Gump, box of chocolates. Yeah, you never know. Sometimes you just got to stick your finger in and taste the flavor.
I ain't got no album. I ain't got no song. You know what I got? $100,000.
I heard the weather is changing and there's a hurricane coming to town.
There is a hurricane brewing. Actually, there was a hurricane brewing. I'm from New Orleans, so I'm used to hurricanes. And actually, a hurricane is what got me to New York. But a friend of mine and a friend of mine is actually writing this movie. It's an independent film that we're doing called Hurricane Bianca. And we started funding right before I did Drag Race. And then Drag Race happened. So then I couldn't talk about it for a hot minute. And now that I'm done with the show, we are doing fundraising and we're hoping to shoot it next summer. And it's called, if you want any information, it's hurricanebianca.com. And the funny thing about it, even though it's a comedy, there is some seriousness to it, because I don't know if most people know this, but in 29 states it's still legal to be fired for being gay. Crazy.
Can you tell us a little bit about the story, the movie?
Well, basically, it's a guy, me, as a school teacher, who's down on his luck and gets outed for being gay, and he decides to seek revenge on the people that outed him by returning as Bianca Del Rio's substitute teacher.
You are looking for funds via Indiegogo.
Yes, it's Indiegogo, Hurricane Bianca, yes.
And there are some interesting things you can purchase.
Yes, there is. Actually, there's several increments of things that we do. But one of the main things that people do enjoy is insult videos. So basically, if you donate, I'm not sure how much money it is, but if you donate a certain amount of money to the film, then I will make a personal insult video, because most people on Twitter and Instagram these days just want me to read them. 2 years ago, they ran from me, but now they're like, hey, read me. So if you have faults or flaws, this is the gift for you.
Amazing. All right, shall we wish Toronto a happy World Pride?
I would gladly.
Happy World Pride, Toronto.
Well, it's now time for us to take a little break.
Break.
Oh, no, it should be gobble, gobble, gobble. Turkeys, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. We're in the Thanksgiving sandwich right now between Canadian Thanksgiving and American Thanksgiving.
And Fred Kemperman is going to tell us what he's thankful for on the gay agenda.
Well, it's that time of the year to give thanks, and we have a lot to be thankful for. Number one, living in Canada, especially if you are queer living in Canada and not born in one of the 81 countries where it's illegal to be queer. Two, luckily we have same-sex marriage for over 10 years. Many countries are slowly working towards that, as we can see in the United States, where each state is slowly taking on the legal battle. Three, pride parades. Almost every Canadian city of any good size has a festival or parade where we can openly express ourselves. Four, anti-bullying campaigns, where organizations like Out in Schools is working hard to protect LGBTQ youth from being bullied in school. And number five, sexual orientation is part of your constitutional right. You can't be refused to be hired or fired for being gay, and in fact you can be openly gay in the military, police force, and at work. But these things just don't happen by themselves. We have to give thanks to the people who got the ball rolling. The queer community of Vancouver is very thankful for Jim Diva and what he has done. Unfortunately, recently he passed away, but fortunately he's left a legacy. With his partner, they created Little Sisters Bookstore, which is at the center of the Davie Village. Their legal fights over injustice and censorship are well documented in the movie Little Sisters versus Big Brother. These battles are the foundation of the LGBTQ community, which is why we can enjoy sex-positive literature. After Aaron Webster's murder in Stanley Park, Jim was the catalyst to get the Vancouver Police Department and the City of Vancouver to be more attentive. Today, they have more sensitivity training in the department, and the city has a LGBTQ advisory committee. Vancouver now is a big pink bubble, thanks to people like Jim Diva, who built the LGBTQ bookstore, which is in the heart of the village, and it takes a village, like Davie Village, to raise a queer. So thank you, Jim Diva, for your great legacy.
And up next, we have yet another riveting, exciting, scintillating story for you.
You're gonna love this, and here it is.
We're here at La Fontana, a cafe and local nerd watering hole to meet with Justin Saint of the Gamers.
At a typical gamer meetup, we usually get together and just socialize to play games. So we tend to go to either a cafe or like a board game store. Sometimes you also go to like a theme restaurant, and we play games together. Here at La Fontana, we always do karaoke and Just Dance, which is fun because it gets people active as well. And then one thing we like to do here at the Vancouver Gamers is we like to have a social aspect to it as well. So we always go out either before and after to have dinner or lunch.
When I moved into this area back in September from Texas, I was looking for a group that I could kind of feel like a part of, because I'm a big-time gamer and I'm gay, and I didn't know where to look for this, but on Reddit I found a subreddit called Gamers, and in here this was mentioned. There was a Facebook group. I went in there, I saw a bunch of really cool people, and I swung by. The Gamers group is super inviting and welcoming. You come in here and you feel like you've known these people all your life in like the first 10 minutes, right? You come in and people are pulling you over aside. You should play this game, try this game, do this, do that, and it's just such a great way to just hop in and feel like you're a part of a community immediately.
The most important thing that I could possibly say about the Gamers is that it's a place where I can come and actually feel comfortable around other people. It's not easy out there for a lot of transsexual people, but I've never received judgment here, and that's really important to me. The games that I try to play here are co-op games, board games where people actually get along, but usually it devolves into PvP and I tend to win.
What's PvP?
Player versus player.
Okay, one-on-one sort of stuff.
Or like you versus an entire table of other people.
I joined this group when I moved out here. I was originally living in Edmonton. I moved out to Vancouver, and I was just looking for a social active group or a gay group in Vancouver, and found this one's Facebook page. I decided to check it out. I like some of the more turn games. Like one of my favorite games is Suburbia, which is like almost SimCity as a board game in a way. Also like some of the other ones, like Settlers of Catan's pretty fun. I also like some of the ones where there's a little bit more of a role playing, like Betrayal at the House of the Hill, where you're basically acting out a horror movie in board game, and there's one random betrayal halfway through.
We're mostly operating out of Facebook right now, but if someone wants to join the Vancouver Gamers, you can just find us on Facebook. You can just search for the Vancouver Gamers, or you can go to the link.
This is Logan Alexander at La Fontana with Outlook TV.
We're going to need to take a little break now.
But stay with us because we've got lots more queer when we come back.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
Not everyone has heard of Blind Pride.
So when we did, we sent our special assignment reporter, Christy Cassie, to find out more.
In the disability community, disclosure is a touchy topic. Do you disclose? Who do you tell? What will their reactions be? Will you even get a job? Today I talked to Richard Marion, who is dealing with those issues on top of coming out of the closet.
My really good friend first, I told her first because I needed someone to say to me, are you prepared for basically, if once you tell your family, possibly losing your job? Because I work in my family's small business as well too, and I do the office administration work. And so that was one of the reasons I told her first, so I could kind of go over those kinds of things and those aspects if things go really bad with my family, what might happen. Thankfully it didn't, and it turned out fairly well.
And what resources?
An organization that's based out of the United States that's called Blind LGBT Pride. But in the process of finding it, I'm one of these people that gets involved in organizations and becomes a fairly active volunteer. And then this past July I was elected treasurer, so now I'm the treasurer, and I still am helping to coordinate their international outreach as well too.
What is the difference between Blind Pride and mainstream Pride?
Blind Pride it was mainly set up as a vehicle to sort of help people who are blind become more integrated in the LGBTQ community. It was also set up to work on ways to make literature that would be specific to gays and lesbians and people that are transgendered and people that are bisexual more accessible. Like it's a small organization. It is still the only organization of its type in the world. Specifically dealing with people who are blind in the LGBT community.
How has the reception been in the GLBT community?
From my perspective, I've come into it being blind and trying to get more active in the LGBT community, and so I've been. I can't say I've had a bad reception, but I think it's just the lack of knowledge of disability in general, and the blind community is a little smaller than the deaf community, so we haven't been able to make the kind of inroads, say, as like the BC Rainbow Alliance of the Deaf has done.
Have you participated in any mainstream Pride events, and how has that been for you?
I actually did participate in the Pride Parade 3 years ago now, and usually try to go to some Pride event. Like I can't say I haven't made any friends in the GLBT community. I've got a lot of good friends.
I'm Christy Cassie for Outlook TV.
And our next story is from Gorgeous in Toronto.
That's right. Gorgeous is bringing us the story of Singing Out, the largest non-auditioned LGBTQ choir in Canada. Gorgeous, take it away.
Hi, I've just snuck into the Singing Out rehearsal space. They've got a great big concert coming up on December 6th, so let's go in and check it out. Hey, everybody.
Singing Out started in 1992, and this is our 23rd season. It started as an activist choir, really singing and coming together to bring the message of advocating against LGBT issues and barriers, and it's grown into a professional community chorus. And it's definitely focused on creating that sense of belonging, achieving musical excellence, and most of all, having a sense of pride in who we are.
We are proud to say that we are a non-auditioned choir. There is no audition. We will teach you the notes. We will get you off book. We will help you. We have rehearsal tracks. It's fun and you'll sound good by concert time.
130 people in the choir. That is a large choir. You must have some performances throughout the year. Tell us about what's coming up.
Of course. So we have a really great season lined up. Our first concert is December 6th, which is our holiday show, and that's happening downtown at the J. Mallet Theatre. You can get tickets online, and we'll be doing a variety of holiday music, a little bit of pop music, and I would say that our other highlighted show is in the spring. It's on June 6th at the Glen Gould Studio, and we are doing a tribute to Broadway and musicals. So there's a variety of Lion King, Les Miserables, all of the highlights, and we've chosen this based on the response of our audience and the members, so it's going to definitely be a highlight.
All year long, you'll see us at various gigs. We love to perform at Loblaws at Christmas time. We're at the top of the escalator, usually on a Sunday between 11 and 3 o'clock, singing all your carol favorites. So we're around, we're visible, we have a good connection with the 519, and yeah, we really just hope to see as many people out as possible. Often, if somebody has come once, then they bring their friends, and they bring their friends, and before you know it, we're sold out. And we have had some wonderful experiences within the city, but also outside of the city. We've done some outreach. For example, we went up to North Bay because there was a church that was trying to decide whether they wanted to be an affirming congregation, whether to have gay marriage and all sorts of events, ministry of gay people, and so we were there the weekend before their vote. We did a full-on concert with the university, with the church, with us, and we were so pleased that the following weekend it was a yes vote. So that was a real highlight for me.
Well, Singing Out is Toronto's LGBTQ chorus, and we're non-auditioned, and not much experience is needed to join. So for someone interested in joining, I would recommend going to singingout.com. Check us out on YouTube. You can go to Singing Out Video, Twitter, Singing Out LGBTQ, and Facebook, Singing Out.
Great, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for this edition of Outlook TV. Thank you so much for joining us.
And never fear, because we will be back in November with all kinds of queer stories from coast to coast.
In the meantime, how about you like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter? For Outlook TV, I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Dan Doomshaw. Stay fabulous, Canada.